The Rugby World Cup is just around the corner, so from New Zealand to Chile, let's take a look at who the best players in each team is. And I'll also let you know who I think the player of the tournament might be. New Zealand, Richie Mo'unga. Now there might be more obvious choices here, like Scott Barrett or Ardie Savea, but I love Richie Mo'unga so much. I think he's massively underrated for what he brings to this New Zealand team. Mo'unga has played 49 times for the All Blacks, and has shown over the course of 2023 that he is their best fly half, being integral in the 2023 Rugby Championship win. He brings a level of play out of the other guys around him that the other options at 10 don't do. When he's in the team, he brings New Zealand to a different level. Well, normally. France, Antoine Dupont. A slightly more obvious one here for the French captain, who's played 49 times for Le Bleu. With his pace, power and skill off the boot, he's key to France's style of play, and with the loss of Intermac will be crucial in France's attacking structure. Can he lead France to their first World Cup title? Italy, Paolo Garbisi. There are a few good options for Italy, like the mercurial fullback Ange Capuozzo, but for me, Garbisi is their best and most influential player. The 27 cap 23-year-old fly half is the linchpin to the Italian attack, and even though Tommaso Allen is a fantastic 10 in his own right, when Garbisi is at the wheel, Italy turn into a different beast. Uruguay, Santiago Arrata. Santiago Arrata arrived on the scene for Uruguay in the 2019 Rugby World Cup and has since been tearing it up in the top 14 for Cast. The 45 cap scrum half is a rocket around the ruck and will be key for Uruguay to attack space and get the ball moving quickly to their back line. To let you know how good this guy is, he kept Dupont out of the 2022 top 14 team of the year. Namibia, Richard Hardwick. Richard Hardwick is the first player on this list to take advantage of World Rugby's new eligibility laws, having played twice for the Wallabies in 2017. Now I don't know much about the Namibia squad, so his previous Wallabies caps might be skewing my judgment, but he has shown to be an important player for the Rebels in Super Rugby. But can he produce for the country of his birth and help Namibia make history by winning their first ever Rugby World Cup match? South Africa, Siya Kolisi. Now there's many players you could choose from in this South Africa team, such as Eben Etzebeth or Cheslin Colby, but I've gone with their captain, Siya Kolisi. He led South Africa to World Cup glory in 2019, but has been out injured for most of the 2023 international season. His return to the team against Wales and New Zealand has shown how crucial a player the talismanic captain is to the Springbok side, and his ability both on and off the ball brings a different dimension to the South African back row. He's also a freak of nature who came back from an ACL injury in 4 months. Ireland, Johnny Sexton. The Ireland captain is a stalwart of Irish rugby and is about to retire after the Rugby World Cup. Sexton has 113 caps for his country and brings a different dimension than the other 10s do when he's in the team. Ireland look good with Byrne and Crowley in the team, but when Sexton's there, they turn into a different animal. As long as he can keep his mouth shut, he'll be crucial to any Irish success in this Rugby World Cup. Scotland, Finn Russell. The so-called Maverick has proven himself to be one of the best 10s in the world over the last few years, with a world-class kicking and passing game, and has more recently added running into contact into his game with great success. Scotland's game plan lunges on the quality of this man, and with an inexperienced 10 as backup, they need to make sure they don't lose him in this World Cup. Tonga, Malakai Fekitoa. The 2015 World Cup champion became eligible to play for Tonga after having not played for New Zealand for more than 3 years. His brilliant play from centre in the wing will surely be a massive asset to Tonga in the so-called pool of death. Romania, Cristi Chirica. Cristi Chirica is a hard-working back row who's played 29 times for the Oaks. The World Cup captain has pure determination to keep fighting after contact and is a hard-hitting tackler. These assets will be crucial for some massive physical tests against the Springboks and Ireland. And a big shout out to a fellow rugby YouTuber called Uggy, who if you like this type of content, makes similar stuff in a very similar style. He made a video of this similar concept a few weeks ago, and when I asked him if he was okay with me still going ahead and making this video, which I've been planning for a couple of months, said it was okay for me to go ahead and do it, so I really appreciate that. So his video will be linked in the description below if you want to see where we thought differently for each of these teams. Wales, Jack Morgan. The 11 capped international may only be young, but has already scored 4 tries in his time and has been named as co-captain for the Rugby World Cup. A strong ball-carrying back row and a great jackler, he will add massive pace and power to this Wales back row. Australia, Marika Korombete. The 50 capped Australian is a crucial try scorer for the Wallabies, having scored 16 tries in his time in green and gold. His pace and power brings a different dimension to some of the other wingers they have in the squad, which makes him a unique asset on the wing and will be extremely important in a tough pool. Fiji, Lavani Bottia. Lavani Bottia has become one of the best back rows in the world and was crucial in La Rochelle's Champions Cup title defence. His world-class jackling ability becomes even more impressive when you find out that only a few years ago he was mostly utilised as a centre. His pace, power and ability over the ball will be crucial for Fiji to keep up with the power of teams like Georgia and Wales. Georgia, Dawid Naniashvili. Dawid Naniashvili may surprise people who are aware of him as only being 21 years old. He's a standout in this Georgian team, which has traditionally been built off the back of forwards, but Naniashvili is a fullback. Making a name for himself at Lyon in the top 14 and having already garnered 18 caps for Georgia, the young fullback is proving himself to quickly be becoming one of the best fullbacks in the world and could be part of a massive renaissance in Georgian rugby. Portugal, Rodrigo Marta. Marta has been a crucial player in Portugal's return to the top of Tier 2 rugby in Europe, being the joint top try scorer in the 2019 Rugby Europe trophy to help Portugal return to the Rugby Europe Championship. At the age of 23, the 29 capped winger is already Portugal's top try scorer with 25, of which 4 came against Poland in their 2023 Rugby Europe Championship. His pace and try scoring ability will be huge for Portugal in the World Cup. England, Owen Farrell. The 107 capped England captain should have been a very important player for England going into the World Cup, but he will miss the first 2 games against Argentina and Japan. Regardless of this, he's still England's best player going into the World Cup. Whether he's utilised at 10 or 12, his passing and kicking accuracy are crucial to the way England play and will be sorely missed for those opening 2 games. He will be very important going forward in this World Cup, so long as England aren't already knocked out by the time he gets to play, and if he can keep his shoulder to himself. Argentina, Emiliano Buffelli. The 53 capped Argentina fullback has one of the best boots in world rugby. So good in fact, I heard that Lionel Messi grew up wanting to be Emiliano Buffelli, but had to settle for being one of the best footballers ever instead. Anyway, he isn't only a threat from the boot, he's an expert under the high ball and has proven his try scoring ability for club and country over the past few years, with many putting him in the bracket as one of the best players in the world. Japan, Siyosia Fafita. I'm sorry, I've probably butchered that. I don't know much about the Japan squad, but as I do understand it, many fans aren't happy with the squad that's going to France. But one player who has stood out for me is Siyosia Fafita. He's a tall, powerful centre, but has been picked as a winger for Japan in this World Cup. He scored 5 tries in 12 for Japan and 6 in 13 last season for Kintetsu Liners in the Japan League 1. The 24-year-old will be a massive threat for Japan going forward. Samoa, Theo McFarland. Theo McFarland is a massive lock and flanker for Samoa, who was crucial in Saracens' 2023 Premiership title victory. The 8-capped forward stands at 198 centimeters or 6'6" and will be a massive threat for Samoa at lineouts. Now, he might be a massive lump of muscle, but his rugby brain and athleticism, along with his fantastic ball handling skills, make him a serious threat to every team in Pool D. Chile, Rodrigo Fernandez. Rodrigo Fernandez is the danger man for this Chile side. A talented 10 whose skill with the ball massively helped Chile qualify for their first World Cup. Chile will need all of his tricks to try and mount an upset and get a win in Pool D. The 2022 Players Try of the Year winner has 23 caps for Chile and plays for Selknam in Super Rugby Americas. I'm sure he will be using this World Cup as a shop window to get a big move to Europe, Japan or Super Rugby. Now, I said I'd give you a little extra at the beginning and tell you who I think the player of the tournament might be, which of course comes down to a lot of different things like how far a team goes, but I think the player of the tournament probably will be Antoine Dupont. It's a fairly obvious pick, he's just so crucial to this France team and will have been the main man if they win the World Cup. And you can see who I think will be the champions by watching this video right here. Thanks for watching.